Hello and good evening, Chicago. Welcome back into an episode of Chi-Town Weekly here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I hope everybody had a good weekend. We had baseball going on. We had the Northsiders trending up. We had the Southsiders trending down. We had an old friend come to visit. We will be talking about that. Of course, the NFL released the week-by-week schedule since we last sat down and talked. We will discuss that. No, I do not think there is anything to be gleaned by suddenly knowing the order in which the games we've all known what they were going to be for the last 5 months has anything to do with it. But, well, there are things to break down from it. We will talk about the schedule. Plus, there's somebody sitting out there in the free agent market that has looked good in a Bears jersey in the past. Should they bring him back? We will discuss that. And then finally, some interesting things on the Bulls front going on right now. Zach LaVine is set to hit unrestricted free agency. The Bulls, of course, they have the ability to offer the most money, give him a max deal. Is that what they're going to do? Is that what it would take to bring him back? And then there's some injury news that came out earlier today regarding the Bulls that's, shall we just say, disappointing. All that and more coming up here on Chi-Town Weekly. Buckle it on up, everybody. Let's have some fun. And welcome in once again to Chi-Town Weekly. I am your host, Adam Karnick. So glad that you are here, spending time in your week with me as we talk about sports in the best town in all of the USA. Before we get too far into it, of course, we do need to acknowledge our sponsors for the week. Those would be the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed, to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common. That's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California Warriors, and Facebook Southern California Warriors. And IE Sports Radio is available for you on all of the major social platforms. Just search IE Sports Radio, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even our website, iesportsradio.com, gets you right where you need to be. For the last 8 years now, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content, ranging from interviewing legendary athletes to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. All the while, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans. And with your help, we are ready to take the next step. When you go to our website, iesportsradio.com, you will find the link to our Patreon page with 5 different tiers. The first one starting at just $5 a month. This donation gets you shout out on all 32 of our shows. Higher tiers that include access to IE Sports Radio merchandise or our podcasting university, even a chance to be featured on a segment of our flagship show, The Defining Moment. Either way, thank you all very much for continuing to make IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And I want to say thank you now to our Patreon supporters, Bay Area Raised, Emlos Great, Key to the Gate, and Anonymous. And thank you to everyone for making our 8th anniversary, which was just this past weekend, so special. Here's to many, many more years to come. And you can follow along with this show on Twitter. We are at IESRC, or you can also follow along with my personal Twitter feed at Adam_Karnick. _Karnick. And before we go any further, I do want to say congratulations to Larry B. and now his wife, Cecilia. They got married yesterday afternoon. Congratulations to Larry and Cecilia. I hope that they enjoyed their special day yesterday and now enjoying some special time together wherever they're honeymooning, however they're honeymooning. Who knows? Maybe they came from California to Chicago. We'll find out. City of Broad Shoulders. It's a great place to honeymoon. Anyway, that is not why you tuned in. And if you are listening here tonight live on Monday night, first of all, thank you. Second of all, feel free, hop on into the chat room. You can log in, make a username for yourself. It's free. There's no cost to it. Hop on into the chat there on Spreaker, and then we can interact back and forth that way. I see Taryn is in there already. Good evening, Taryn. He is going to be on later, of course, with Set Point, breaking out all things volleyball, giving us an update on the Chicago Untouchables, I hope. Or if you just want to sit back and listen, that is fine too. I am here for your enjoyment in whatever way that works best for you. Wanted to start the show tonight by talking baseball. Very interesting weekend on both sides of town, and I want to start with the White Sox. We'll get into the Cubs. They're both playing right now. The White Sox just getting underway, literally right now. The Cubs are demolishing the Pirates in the first inning. We will talk about both teams here in just a little bit. But I wanted to start with the White Sox. They had a rough weekend, of course, hosting the Yankees. They dropped 3 out of 4. On the plus side, they won the Dallas Keuchel game. Had you told me going into that series, hey, they're going to play the Yankees in 4 games, but Dallas Keuchel is scheduled to start, but the Sox are going to win that game. And not only are the Sox going to win that game, it's going to be a good game for the Sox. It's not going to be one of those where, all right, they had to come back from being down by 6 or 7 or 8 because Keuchel couldn't find the zone and the ball was leaving the yard and the offense had to come to life. I mean, it was a walk-off win. Luis Robert with the RBI single in the 9th inning to give the Sox the win, but they never trailed in the game. They were ahead the whole way. They were led 2-0, and then the Yankees got a couple of runs late, and then Robert did his thing, and they won 3-2. So had you told me, hey, they're going to win the Keuchel game. Oh, all right. So they're going to at least split the series then, maybe even an outside shot at winning it. Well, no, the Keuchel game was the only game they won. All right. That's strange, but okay. I guess you take what you can get with it, right? The Sox now are in the midst of a brutal stretch. They finished up. They played the Guardians last week before playing the Yankees. They played the Guardians in 3 straight games, then jumped from there, or it wound up being just 2 games. I'm sorry. They wound up with an off day on Wednesday. It was unscheduled. They played those 4 games against the Yankees. They now get to play 5 games against the Royals in the next 4 days, thanks to a makeup, before going out to the Bronx to face the Yankees this weekend. That's a lot of baseball that they've got to do. You're talking about 11 games in the midst of 10 days. That's a lot of baseball. And with the injuries and problems they've had, Lucas Giolito, we don't know his status. He caught COVID, and we don't know. Tony La Russa was saying today he's hopeful that Giolito will be able to start the second game of the doubleheader tomorrow. Dylan Cease is going to start the first game. Hopefully Giolito goes in the second game. We'll find out. All that adds up to Johnny Cueto is making his White Sox debut tonight, pitching in Kansas City, where a city where he got traded to a few years ago and helped the Royals win a World Series back in 2015. So he gets to make a homecoming of sorts. And he was purely a rental in Kansas City, but still, he helped win a championship there. So I'm sure good memories and feelings and things like that. But he gets to make his White Sox debut now. He's been down in the minors working on a minor league deal. They had to bring him up basically by today, or else the problem was going to be then he would be free to sign with anybody else because he's a vested veteran. But they brought him up. He is going to make the start tonight. They're in the top of the first inning, couple of outs, so he hasn't officially made his first White Sox pitches yet, but that's coming up. But a weird stretch right now for the White Sox, and they're struggling to hit overall as a team. And you thought about what would have been it for the Sox coming into this season. You didn't think the offense was necessarily going to be a problem, but then you've got, Jose Abreu's batting under 200. Yasmani Grandal is under 200. Leury Garcia is under 200. And Leury Garcia keeps winding in the lineup because Tony La Russa's 80 years old and has no business doing the job he's doing. I do not understand his love affair with Leury Garcia. I don't get it. But, all right, he's the manager. Don't ask Rick Hahn, the general manager, about it either. He didn't want him here to start with. But just the offense has had a hard time putting up runs. Now, some of that, okay, it could be the weather. Some of it could be the quality of opponent they've been facing. I mean, the Yankees are not slouches by any means. They're a terrific pitching staff. But you look at it, they put up, in 4 games against the Yankees, the Sox scored 15 runs. 7 of those were in the first game on Thursday night. They scored a total of 8 runs in the final 3 games, not even 3 runs a game. That's awfully hard to win. Yes, the bullpen by and large has been good. By and large, the starting pitching has been serviceable by and large. I mean, Kopech is growing